You are now tuned in to Shane Harris Time on KTAV Radio. And it is Friday, May 4th. Lots to discuss as we get into today's show. But I first want to begin. Yesterday, I shared my thoughts on at the beginning and the outset of National Foster Care Month. And at the outset of Throwback Thursday, I shared my thoughts yesterday about my aunt. My aunt was white. I have a white side and a black side. As I was growing up, and I am obviously multi-faceted, but I think that one of the things was that, my mom's side was white, my dad's side was black, and and I shared my thoughts about when my mother died. 16 years old, I lost my mother to a drug overdose. 8 years old, I lost my father to cancer of the liver. I went in, obviously, to deep depression. But one of the things that happened during that time was my mother obviously had accounts and had a house and so on and so forth. Well, my aunt flew into town, into San Diego, where I was born and raised at, and she took closed all the accounts, did this, did that, cleaned the house out, so on and so forth. Stayed about a week. Well, I asked, because I was in foster care, I went through many, many transitions, 8 different placements, so on and so forth. I asked my aunt, will you take me? Will you take me in? Can I come with you? And basically, when I asked my aunt if I could go with her, my aunt said to me that I couldn't because I had too many issues, and I related too much with my black or African American side. My aunt, who was white, said to me, now I figured that color went beyond. When you have family, you have family. I wanted out of the foster care system. I wanted to go back with my family. I wanted to be with my auntie. But my auntie told me that because of my issues and because I was too close to my black side, that she could not take me. That hurt me from that day ever since, but it also woke me. It made me realize that even with my multiracial, faceted, being biracial and having different aspects of experiences in your life, that even though I had that my black side was always greater because it was always more visible than everything else, but it also opened me up to being a target. And that was when I first realized that if my family can't even take me because I'm too black, that was when I first realized race played a role. But that moment that she said that defined the rest of my life for me. Rejection, it hurt. It was painful. But it prepared me to be motivated, to excel regardless of what came at me. And that's what I want to say to you this morning. I'm not trying to preach. Y'all know I'm a preacher. But I'm just trying to tell you that when you have moments of doubt, moments of darkness, moments of rejection, it is only a sign that something greater is getting ready to happen. I wish I had somebody out there. I'm not trying to preach this morning, but I'm just trying to tell you that it is moments like that that make greater good for your life. And sometimes we need to look beyond our moments of doubt and darkness to see the greater good that's going to come out of it. That's why I'm going to begin taking call-ins in just a minute. I want you calling in around the country, 619-431-3186, 619-431-3186. I'm going on a break. When we get back, I begin taking call-ins. Don't sit down, don't get down, but get up. I'll be right back.
You are listening to the San Diego station of inspiration. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KTAV Radio. information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at KTAV.TV or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey everybody, this is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues. From Washington, D.C. to your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down. We got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time. Every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.TV.
You are listening to the San Diego Station of Inspiration. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KTAV Radio. For more information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at ktav.tv or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey everybody, this is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues from Washington, D.C. your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down. We got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time. Every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.TV. All right. We are back here live on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris. And for those of you who are out there calling 619-431-3186, we open up the lines now. Going to Phoenix, Arizona with Reverend Redeem Robinson. Good morning, Reverend.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
It's
going well.
Yes, sir. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in Phoenix.
Well, for 1 week straight, our teachers here in Arizona walked out of their classrooms and said that we need higher teacher pay, not only teachers, but support staff, and also our classrooms need more funding. So last week, Thursday, our teachers walked out, and in the masses, 75,000 people showed up at the Capitol and demanded a 20% raise for teachers, support staff, and more funding in our classroom. Unfortunately, not all of the demands were met, and we still have to fight on in November to elect a new governor and new legislature. We stood out there for hours. Some of us stood out there the mid-hour until about 5 a.m., waiting for the legislature to pass their budget, and it's not looking good. What it's going to do is it's going to rob other programs to pay teachers a 20% raise by 2020. This is not a raise. This is not This is not what the teachers have demanded. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to work with this until we elect a new governor. And today, our teachers have went back to school today.
Wow. Now tell us a little bit about the gubernatorial race that's going on. Why is this race so important?
So this race is very important right now. I mean, this is probably one of the most important races in the country. So our governor, lied on TV and said that he's an education governor. He is not an education governor. This man has ignored teachers for years, has totally ignored public education, has robbed public education to fund vouchers in Arizona. Now we have candidates who are running for governor on the Democratic side. We have Dr. David Garcia, who's running Latino, very progressive. This is my first choice, and we also have Kelly Fryer from Tucson, Arizona, lesbian, former minister, and we also have Senator Steve Farley from Tucson, Arizona, who's running for governor as well. And we are looking to elect a new Democratic governor here. It's time that we get someone who's pro-public education and pro the people. So right now we have a lot of momentum building up, and we have a lot of people who are pretty much angry with Governor Ducey and in the Republican legislature. So when we was out there a couple nights ago fighting for teachers, we had Republicans. Actually, there was a lot of Republicans out there. And, this issue about education, this is a bipartisan issue. I mean, probably about 40,000 of those people were Republicans.
Right.
And so a lot of those people, they actually switched their registration to become Democrats. So we have the opportunity right now to elect a Democratic governor.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see. Real quick before you go, because I do think it's important, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, the historic racist sheriff in the whole country from Arizona, is running for the Senate, I believe, correct?
Yes, he is still running for the U.S. Senate. He is also going to be running against Kelly Ward and Congresswoman Martha McSally on the Republican side. We must do what it takes, whatever it's going to take, to make sure that Joe Arpaio does not see the U.S. Senate. Actually, better yet, we need to do what it takes for him to not even get the Republican nomination. This man has been a racist. He has tormented this community for several years, and a lot of people are not taking him serious. But we didn't take Trump serious when he ran for president. So right now, I'm trying to mobilize and trying to tell everyone we need to take this man serious.
Right.
The election is in August, so we don't have much time.
Yep. Well, we definitely got to keep tabs on this, and thank you, Reverend, for calling. Please keep us updated of what's going on.
Yes.
We got to still get that Phoenix National Action Network started, and you've got my commitment on that. We've got to get that Phoenix National Action Network started. It is very important. So thank you for your leadership out there, and we're going to keep broadcasting and sharing your perspective from Arizona as the days and months and years go on. Thank you so much, Reverend.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we're going on a quick break. When we get back, I'm taking more call-ins. Share your thoughts on Kanye. Kanye says that 400 years of slavery was a choice. Don't go nowhere. Call in and share your thoughts. I'll be right back.
You are listening to the San Diego station of inspiration. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KTAV Radio. For more information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at KTAV.tv or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can be part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey, everybody. This is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday, I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues, from Washington, D.C. to your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down, we got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.tv.
You are listening to the San Diego station of inspiration. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KTAV Radio. For more information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at ktav.tv or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey, everybody. This is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday, I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues, from Washington, D.C. to your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down, we got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.tv.
You are listening to the San Diego station of inspiration. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KTAV Radio. For more information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at ktav.tv or Call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey everybody, this is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues, from Washington, D.C. to your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down, we got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.tv. All right. We are back here live on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris. Tell somebody to tune in, www.ktav.tv. Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris Facebook page. 89.1 FM, many channels and opportunities for you to listen live and call in at 619-431-3186. I'm taking thoughts on Kanye this morning. Kanye West says that 400 years of slavery was a choice. What are your thoughts about that? Call in, 619-431-3186. Right now, I have joining me from Chicago, Reverend Mitchell Johnson, the executive director of My Community Plan, and also a part of the New Seasons Church Chicago. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning, my brother. Good to hear your voice, and always a pleasure to see you standing tall on the wall wherever our people are confronted with the issues of our society. It's good to know that even as young as you are, your prophetic voice speaks volumes about the commitment of our community. So if I'm in your presence, it's always a wonderful day.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And I'm taking thoughts on Kanye this morning. You know, Kanye is from your hometown, Chicago, and him and Chance the Rapper have kind of taken a liking to each other on different angles, though. Chance says that blacks do not have to go Democrats all the time, which is a very true statement. But Kanye said that 400 years of slavery was a choice. I'm taking your thoughts.
So, I'm blessed to have met both of the brothers. And as you know, Chance the Rapper's trajectory in Chicago and across the country is a wonderful example of youth commitment married to skill and talent. Kanye, on the other hand, I have to digress and be careful with my words. Let me say this. Otis Moss III, pastor of Trinity United Church of Christ, recently visited the new museum in Alabama that focused on lynching. Remember, Dr. Shane, that lynching wasn't an issue during slavery because the slave masters didn't want to kill their product, which were slaves. I say that again. The slave masters didn't want to kill or abuse their product called slaves. Mm-hmm. They weren't slaves out of choice. They were slaves as a result of a misguided application of a faith walk that looked nothing like our Jesus. That museum and the lynchings occurred when it was that black folk chose to be self-sustainable. Folk got lynched when a black man opened a grocery store. Folk got lynched when a black man decided to sell product amongst himself. Folk got lynched when black folk decided to be self-sustainable. Now, that wasn't a choice. That was a lynching based on a desire for independence. Brother Kanye West is as confused as one can get in its current state. And if you remember, Dave Chappelle said it best. Dave Chappelle said success can drive a Negro crazy. And Kanye is an example of a young black man who desires and is in need of reconciliation prayer by the faith community because he knows not that of which he speaks. He has drunk the Kool-Aid of the Kardashian family. Look, when your daddy changes his sex in the middle of his journey after being an Olympic champion, after being daddy to all these women who seem to be attracting our beautiful black brethren, let me just say this. He needs a intervention from the Kool-Aid, and that might help his recollection.
Oh, man. Reverend Johnson, let me ask you real quickly about Chance the Rapper. He also chimed off of Kanye, but went a different route with it. It always seems that Chance is a little bit more level-headed, I think, perceived than Kanye these days. But Chance chimed off and said, well, wait a minute, I don't agree with what Kanye said, but I do think that blacks should realize that you don't have to vote Democratic. What are your thoughts about that?
This would not be the first time that the African-American voting demographic had a question about which party we're going to support. Remember, it was the grand old party that was the champion of the abolitionists back in the day. The very first African-Americans elected to the federal government and state government were members of the grand old party. When it was that the grand old party changed its mind, black folks quickly left after the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Because if you recall, it was the Republicans that were champions of equity historically.
That's
when
right.
They changed their mind from Abraham Lincoln, it became the Democratic province. This shift, if it occurs, will not be new. We need to be aligned with political thought processes that move away from affirmative action and move to community development. When I was in law school, I remember these words. The power to tax and spend is the best power of all. Now, during my law school tenure, brother, the power to tax and spend was the province of Speaker of the House Tip O'Neill, that good Democrat that worked well with Ronald Reagan, who introduced drugs to our community, call it what it is. Amen. Him and good old Ollie North. So if we are aligned with a party, and that party does not speak in the words of WVON, what's this brother's name? He's a good Sigma man. It'll come to me. But he always asks this question, what's in it for black folk? If you can't define what your community gets from the association, then you might have the wrong affiliation. Remember, a fair exchange is no robbery. The senator from Alabama owes his seat to African-American Democratic women who go to church. There should be a quid pro quo. If those very same women can't look to that senator's legislation and see how it benefits their communities, we ought to have another conversation. If you listen, you know this to be true yourself. And I know there are My Community Plan Foundation pastors all over the world. And by the way, shout out to our daddy on this land, Bishop A.B. Vines. I got to be careful what I say, because you and I will both get jack slapped if I do it the wrong way. We have to be careful about our association, and it can't be just based on our ethnicity and or our culture. It has to be couched in our culture, premised by our spiritual convictions. And those all are, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. And your righteousness is not couched in your Democrat or your Republican perspective.
That's powerful.
Black folk got to ask this question, what's in it for us?
What's in it for us?
We can't define, Ida's legacy just got started here in Chicagoland with Del Marie Cobb.
Hold on, Reverend, we got to go on a quick break. I want you to stay right there. This is good conversation. Don't go nowhere. Stay right there on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris.
You are listening to the San Diego station of inspiration. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KTAV Radio. For more information information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at KTAV.TV or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey everybody, this is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues, from Washington, D.C. to your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down, we got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.TV.
You are listening to the San Diego Station of Inspiration, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, KTAV Radio. For more information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at ktav.tv or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey everybody, this is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues, from Washington, D.C. to your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down, we got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.tv.
You are listening to the San Diego Station of Inspiration, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, KTAV Radio. For more information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at ktav.tv or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
All right. We are back here live on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris. Tell somebody I'm taking call in 619-431-3186. 619-431-3186. We're talking Kanye. Going back to Reverend Johnson, Reverend Mitchell Johnson from Chicago, who's sharing his thoughts, and then we're going to go to New York with Brother James Gray. Reverend Johnson,
Yes, sir.
we're continuing on with Chance the Rapper, and what you were sharing regarding that blacks were always that we should always be maintaining our stance in between, that it should never be about one party, that it should be about economics and where we're going and how we're thriving. Continue on that note.
So recently, this friend of ours, I say ours, Delmarie Cobb, who was the Illinois communications director for Hillary Clinton's campaign for president, was one of the founders of a group called Ida's Legacy. Ida's Legacy was created to develop what we're calling the next generation of progressive African-American women candidates willing to speak truth to power and work in the best interests of their constituents, which would be us folk. And I say that in the context of Kanye because that's a choice. Here's the choice. The choice is when you have the means to respond to issues in your community and the power to do so, to decide to spend your money with yourself, to decide to invest your resources, time, talent, and treasures to elect candidates that speak truth to power and represent your community. That's a choice. And that is more along the lines of the work of Chance the Rapper, who parenthetically, Pastor, is also one of the newer board members of the DeSabe Museum of African American History here in Chicago. So those kinds of activities are choice. What the young, misguided, but nonetheless talented brother Kanye West speaks to is a misapplication of the words. And the problem is he, unlike you have a voice. Your voice may emanate out of the San Diego area, but even my good brother, Pastor Ambrose Carroll, leader of Green the Church in Oakland, California, and pastor of the church by the side of the road, he understands and hears the voice of Reverend Shane because it's speaking truth to power regarding the needs of our constituents, unlike the voice equally powerful but equally misguided of the young Kanye West. I'm not mad at his affirmation for a big booty white woman. I ain't mad at him. That's okay. I'm not mad. But I am mad when I hear him opening up that prophetic voice he has, and in the words of our Bishop, A.B. Vines, losing the prophetic strength of that voice when he utilizes it for detrimental power rather than life, strength, encouragement, or growth. No one lives and grows by misunderstanding of your power. And remember, ain't but two powers on the planet, the power to live or the power to kill. And we always know who your daddy is by which power you're speaking to.
Thank you, Reverend Mitchell Johnson. We need to get you on this show more often because you have a lot of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge to share with the people. Thank you, Reverend Mitchell Johnson. And how can people connect with the organization that you lead?
Man, look, they can call Reverend Shane, but they can't reach Reverend Shane. They can go ahead online at www.mcpfoundation.org. mcpfoundation.org. Catch us on Facebook or call Reverend Shane. And whatever you do, wherever you go, call Reverend Shane. He'll tell you which way to be.
Yes,
Bless
sir.
you, man.
Reverend Johnson, thank you. We're going to New York now with Brother James Gray in New York City. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. You know, we behind over here. We behind over here on the West Coast.
Nah, it's all good, man. You guys are up to speed, and I like
We're
that,
not
man.
innovators like y'all. We're not innovators like y'all.
We're on the same team, man, so it balances out. You know?
That's right. Give us. We're going on a quick break. When we get back, I have Brother James Gray. We're going to continue. I'm taking call in 619-431-3186. Stay right there.
You are listening to the San Diego station of inspiration. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KTAV Radio. For more information on how you can advertise your business, event, or services, please visit us online at ktav.tv or call 619-246-6131. We are also offering 30 and 60-minute time slots for your ministry or podcast. For more information on how you can become a part of KTAV Station of Inspiration lineup, please call 619-246-6131 or visit us online at ktav.tv/ministry.
Hey everybody, this is Reverend Shane Harris. Every Friday I hold a live radio show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ktav.tv. The show is called Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris, and we discuss all of the country's issues, from Washington, D.C. to your local community, social dialogue, political impact, and strategy talk. For all of our communities to realize that we don't have to get down, we got to get up and know what we're doing. So it's strategy time every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris on KTAV.tv. All right. We are back here live on Get On Up with Reverend Shane Harris. I'm taking thoughts on Kanye. We're going to New York with Brother James Gray, and then back to Chicago. Reverend Darius Randall is calling in. Brother James.
Hey, how you doing, Brother Shane?
Just to drop a thought, Kanye said that 400 years of slavery was a choice. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, man. It's not funny at all. I mean, I don't really think that I don't really think he meant that from the bottom of his heart. You know, Kanye's been going through a lot of rants, and he's dealing with a lot of things right now. And I think that his mental health has been, is in question right now as well. He admitted the drug situation and being under the influence and things like that. But I've been following Kanye for a while, and I identified with him in the beginning of his career because of his ability and talent when it came to music. And I started to see a shift in his behavior as soon as his mother passed away. And, that's when I started realizing how grounded she was able to keep him, and her being in his life she was his anchor. And he went through a lot of things after she passed away, and he really didn't have the proper time to grieve directly after she passed. He's still on the road doing shows, and still he had a very busy schedule, and I don't think he went through the proper grieving process, and then also the traumatic level of trauma he faced just by her being gone. And then on top of that, the procedure that she went through that ultimately caused her death was something that he was trying to, tell her not to do. But even beyond that, going back to the actual, just giving you a background of what I observed following Kanye through his trials. And, looking at the statement he made about 400 years as a choice, the brother from TMZ challenged him directly after he made that statement and put it right in perspective. And at the end of the day, Kanye really didn't have the right to even use that case in point to justify whatever he was saying, because number one, he didn't do it in the proper context, and there's really no way that you could properly put 400 years and volunteering in the same context and put it together, effectively. So I just think that he needs to be very careful about what he's saying when he's ranting, because there's been a number of these rants that he's went on that, they take this stuff right here and they put it out there, and as bad as it might be, they make it even worse when it gets to the media. At the same time, you also got to look at this. The big picture here is that the Kanye statement and this whole controversy came right at a time when North Korea and South Korea are connecting, are finally getting back together. And this, stories like this are overshadowing stories like that. And even what's happening with Bill Cosby, there's a long list of white, powerful men who did the same thing or even greater and didn't get convicted, most of them didn't even go to trial. You see what I'm saying? Mm. And although, I don't agree with what Bill Cosby did, but Bill Cosby built a legacy that opened doors for African Americans, and he contributed a lot to African American colleges and to the education and early childhood developmental process of African Americans, and identifying with a civilized black family structure, which the Cosby Show is synonymous for. Mm. So, they even took this guy's, star off the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He donated more money to black colleges than anybody I could think of. Mm. His whole thing behind the Cosby Show and the other shows he had was uplifting and having us being seen in a positive light. All of these things are being overshadowed by Kanye. Okay? Kanye made a statement that they knew we was going to jump right on. So as we're going over there beating up Kanye, who's dealing with a mental issue, okay, and that's just like the police beating up a mentally ill person. Yeah. We don't beat him up. Kanye needs help. You know what I'm saying? He's our brother at the end of the day. We can't throw away nobody right now, especially a black man. We can't throw away nobody.
That's right.
There's people that need rehabilitation. There's people that need loving. There's people that need understanding. And whenever we throw them away, that makes them even more detrimental to our society. So we need to look at the big picture here. There's a war brewing that could be a danger to the United States. Nobody's talking about that. North Korea and South Korea have not shaken hands in many, many, many years. Now Trump is in the office, and they say, you know what? We got to get over our stuff in order to deal with this dude. And guess what? Right under our nose, all we talking about is Kanye. You know what I'm saying? All we talk about is Bill Cosby. There's issues that every time something like this happens, we got to step back and say, hold on. What's the underlying factor that they're trying to get us not to see right now?
That's right. And what are we missing? Instead of Kanye, we should be talking Stephon Clark. Instead of Kanye, we should be talking what you're talking about. All of these things are important. And while they are behind the scenes slipping healthcare and slipping this and slipping that, Kanye has become the forefront of the conversation and his support of President Trump. So definitely you're right about that. Thank you, Brother James Gray from New York. You also lead the Bronx chapter of the National Action Network now, correct? Or vice president of the Bronx chapter?
Yes, I'm the executive vice president of the Bronx, New York chapter of the National Action Network, and we just launched about a month ago. And like I said, we hit the ground running. We have a really good team. We have some very good outreach going on out there. I was already connected in the Bronx, as well as Harlem and Manhattan. So it was just basically a matter of me, reconnecting the dots and bringing the right people together. The Bronx had when we first identified with the structure, it was very divided politically, and also different communities and demographically with nationalities as well. So the Bronx has a major Latino demographic of Puerto Ricans, and a black demographic. So we made sure that we had somebody who's very familiar with the Latino community that we brought in as the director of Latino Affairs. And we're already doing outreach to bring communities back together, to bring resources to the communities. But on a major level, it's looking really good. Reverend Sharpton came out and swore us in and gave us a blessing. And ever since then, man, he's just really proud of how we're moving. And we definitely got to get you up there, brother, to speak and be a part of this, man, because we got a movement going on. And matter of fact, somebody said that, San Diego and the Bronx right now are doing a lot of things, and I like to hear that because I know you're always on it, and we're on it too, man. In any way we can help, let me know.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Gray, and I definitely got to come through. I was trying to make it there while I was in New York, and we're going to definitely make it happen for sure. I will definitely come to the Bronx and be more than happy to. Thank you, Brother Gray. We're going to Chicago now with Reverend Darius Randall. I'm taking thoughts on Kanye. You're from Chicago, Reverend. You've been involved in Chicago a long time. I know that this is not really a surprise to some folks who know and have interacted with Kanye. I know we all have respect for Kanye, but fire off, Reverend. I mean, 400 years of slavery, was it a choice or was it not a choice? Reverend Randall, are you with us?
Yes.
All right, Reverend Darius Randall from Chicago. As I was saying early on, I don't know if you heard, but you are very involved in Chicago, born and raised there. You know the city well. Kanye says that 400 years was of slavery was a choice. If I would have checked in with some of my ancestors, Sister Tubman, and all of those who laid the groundwork for a Kanye, they would have said if it was a choice, shoot, we would have got out if it was a choice. I mean, so tell us a little bit about this statement that Kanye made and your perspective on it.
Well, I think, number one, I think it was taken out of context what he said, because he didn't enlighten. He didn't enlighten TMZ and the world best like he should. He made a very vague statement without putting enough context behind it. And similar, he reminded me of Reverend Jeremiah Wright. He made a statement about America, and figuring out the context, and the world kept on talking against him. But it was the same energy and the same attack driven by the media, using another brother and trying to tear him down. But I didn't think that he meant what he meant about the slavery comment. I don't think he meant what he meant. I think that the way we think and our ideology and our thought process is like we're still on a plantation. And that's what he's saying. He's not saying that we are, that it was a choice, so it doesn't matter whether or not we should be slaves, or we should be still in slavery, or was a choice as if, being in slavery, any of them could have got out if they wanted to. That's not what he's saying, but he's comparing his comments to that of a Nat Turner who let a slavery go. He's comparing his comments to that of all these different, people that have risen up, Harriet Tubman who led the Underground Railroad.
Right.
That's what he's comparing his commentary to. And for those of you all that didn't keep up with his Twitter, he got on there to explain that. So I think that he's being taken out of context, and I think that it's clear that, yeah, he does have some issues, but we all do. Everybody that's calling him crazy, I can't recall how many times I've been called crazy. I can't recall how many times, they didn't call, Sharpton crazy, Jesse. Everybody gets called crazy that's trying to.
They definitely didn't call me crazy multiple times.
The world.
Right.
Yes. So, Kanye is a genius. Kanye is one of the smartest musicians we've ever seen. And his genius is is shining today more than we've ever seen ever in one of our artists. So, a lot of people that are talking about him, Kanye is doing what he's supposed to do. Like, he wanted that. He wanted people to have conversation. He wanted them to talk. So all the people that's got conversation, that's knocking Kanye and saying that he needs this and he needs that, this is good publicity for him. All he's going to do is sell another platinum record, which everybody is dying to hear. What is he going to say next? So he successfully got everybody's attention, and everybody is talking about him. But he has a level of confidence. You see, everybody that's talking don't know him. I know him. We know him in Chicago. He's from Chicago. His mother was a school teacher here, was a professor here. I know his whole crew. So they could explain Kanye better than anybody can. On CNN, on MSNBC, on your show, they could explain Kanye. So we know Kanye. We know that the brother is a genius. But, yeah, he lost his mother. His mother died, his closest thing to him. So what are you going to run to if you're thinking you're going to find, love or try to find an escape somewhere else? You're going to run to the first thing that you can find. And a lot of times for us men, that's a woman. So he's with the Kardashian crew right now, and they're loving on him. They're giving him what he needs. So people can miss me with all this crazy judgment of Brother West.
Yeah, and people can say what they want about the Kardashian crew, but we can't forget that Papa Kardashian, what he was popular for. Papa was popular for that case for O.J. Simpson and his leading on that case. And so I don't think all of the Kardashians are miseducated. I think some of them are actually educated. So, you raise a good point there. But thank you, Reverend Randall, for sharing your thoughts this morning on Get On Up regarding Kanye West. And, brother, I hope you have a good day and a good weekend.
Keep doing your thing, man.
Yes, sir. All right. We are finishing our show this morning. Let me say this as we go. It is very important that you do not let moments of darkness, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm going to come back to it, cloud your mind. Stay focused, stay pure, stay consistent. Don't let anyone divide your thinking about who you are and what you are supposed to be doing. Because remember, nobody will account for you but you. So all you need to do is decide that instead of giving up, you ought to get up. Thank you, YouTube, and thank you, Facebook, for tuning in. Have a good weekend. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Shane Harris Now, Instagram at Shane Harris Now. And remember, whatever you do, however you do it, get up. Don't give up. Meet me at the Saturday Action Rally tomorrow morning and every Saturday at 10 a.m. at 1728 South 39th Street, San Diego, California, in the village of Shelltown. Meet me at the Saturday Action Rally tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., 1728 South 39th Street. Thank you, Facebook and YouTube. Stay on it. Stay consistent. Stay vigilant. www.nansd.net, NAN, and also go to www.ktav.tv and stay connected with the show.